So I got a little sick for a few days, which let me do one of those rare things I just don't get to do anymore. Sit down and play a video game. The game I chose isn't particularly important, but I dusted off Warriors Orochi 4, a button-mashing hack-and-slash that hilariously combines history and fantasy, so I can either pick up the legendary Guan Yu with his glorious beard as I swing my halberd at a never-ending onslaught of enemies, or I can pick up this guy and beat up everyone with a magic rug. There's other reasons for people to play as well. I restarted the game from the beginning, and there was something there which I didn't even notice the first time around. So I don't know if it was a pre-order bonus or part of a season pass or whatever else it might be, but all of the characters had access to the highest tier of weapons, and I had many new mounts that were much better than what I could start out with. On top of this, the game has a lot of different currency, from growth points for the characters, gems for weapons and other upgrades, and crystals for some of the more higher tier upgrades. I had a lot in each category. I also had 3 hidden characters unlocked on top of all that, and I haven't even started playing. To give some perspective on the weapons to understand the problem of having the highest tier from the beginning, imagine buying a new Pokemon game, and in the beginning, you start out with a legendary Pokemon at level 50. That's basically the level of power I got. And that's the crux of this video, as this is something I have been seeing for many years now. Pre-order now and will make the game easier for you. Get the season pass and we'll include the ability to skip levels. Get the Super Ultra Mega Deluxe package and we'll include the final boss being defeated for free. People don't really play games for fun anymore, do they? Let me expand a little bit on what I mean, as we're going to get a bit psychological and philosophical on this topic. What exactly is happiness? Yeah, we're not going to tackle and answer that question on a Weeb's YouTube video on video games. So I'll slightly rework the framing with this question. If someone says something makes them happy, what would need to take place or need to be set up for you to disagree with them on something subjective like this? An easy, over-the-top example would be a heroin addict. Their life is going down the toilet, but they need that heroin shot to be happy. A lot of people will look at the situation and say, dude, you're not happy. You're chasing an arbitrary, self-destructive high. Another example is someone who hangs around a group of friends, quote-unquote, who do nothing but look down upon them and belittle them, insulting that person every chance they get. But that person, who has issues with loneliness, says that the friends make him happy. You'd be inclined to tell them that it's not the people that makes him happy. He's not heading towards happiness, he is running away from his fear of loneliness. With that, this question can be divided into 2 specific categories of happiness. Are you heading towards something that makes you happy, or are you escaping something that makes you unhappy? Neither by itself is right or wrong, but rather the circumstances that surround and determine if it's a positive or negative trait. If you are escaping the unhappiness of a broken family, I'd view that as a net positive. If you're escaping the unhappiness of your heroin withdrawal by taking another hit, I can't really support that happiness. I would not even use that word. This brings us back around to video games. What is it about them that makes us happy? Obviously the answer will be different for everybody, but I'm trying to get at an underlying core. One of the reasons I play any game is for the immersion of it all. To say I enjoy aspects of mythology, mysticism, or anything else that falls under that umbrella would be an understatement. Learning Japanese to read subtitles? Pass. Learning Mandarin to better understand Chinese text several thousand years old? That's my cup of tea right there. I also have a deep fascination and appreciation for historical warriors, but I also like over-the-top ridiculous stuff. So a game like Warriors Orochi, where I could play legendary figures like Oda Nobunaga or Miyamoto Musashi, and turn them into gods as I fight the Greek god of war Ares, who dual wields dragons? Yeah, sign me up. And I typically get a big boost of energy after such fun moments that I would use to either write a script like this, or go and mess up a punching bag thinking I need to get strong enough to be able to dual wield dragons. I'd call all that a recipe for having fun. But let's flip the script a little bit. Ignore all the other stuff I said about me. Instead, I'm someone who would be called by many a loser. I don't really win at anything in real life. I'm the last guy picked at the gym because I just suck. But with Warriors Orochi, I can be a winner. I can pick up any of these powerful fighters and just beat these cannon fodder characters all up. Let me set the game to easy mode and use this legendary weapon to breeze through this game. Look at how skilled and strong I am now. I spend all my free time playing this game until I have to go back into reality where problems continue anew. Would you make the argument that I'm still just having fun? Some might, but I wouldn't. I'm not really enjoying the game itself at that point. I'm just trying to escape feeling like a loser in the real world. If you take away the game and give me some drug that takes away that feeling of being a loser, would I still be willing to play the game? I'm sure most people would say yes, they definitely would. Because despite using me as an example, I know many will still view this as some personal attack. And for the record, this second version of me used to be me back in elementary school, minus the pills. Obviously, I did not see my problem for what it was. Not many would, but I've been in those shoes, and I know how blind it might make some people. How many of us are just chasing any sort of dopamine we can get? How many of us are just looking to see that "you win" screen with no care about how it actually pops up? To see those big numbers appeared, to see our names on leaderboards, regardless of what it took to get there. Why are aimbots and shooting games such a constant, prevalent thing? How can there be any possible fun in just pressing one button and doing nothing else in order to win? There's an online card game I play called Legends of Runeterra, and occasionally you run into players who, when they begin losing, will employ a technique called roping. What they do is they wait out the clock until the last possible second before making a move. They are trying to frustrate the other player by wasting their time and making them surrender so they can just move on. How is that not pathetic? That you would waste everybody's time when you cannot win, all in the hopes that the other person would just quit so you can get that win. How can you feel good about that? Speaking of Legends of Runeterra, it is based on a MOBA game called League of Legends. For those unaware, League of Legends is the most popular game in the world. The details of how this game works is not important. All you need to know is Team A is trying to beat Team B, both composed of 5 players. The important part of this section is the League of Legends community.
I hate top. I fucking hate this lane. I hate it so much. I fucking hate everything about this lane. Done. I'm done. Dude, I'm done for tonight, dude. I am absolutely... My mouse is broke. My mouse is fucking done. 300 out. Just poured by. I told you. Listen to me, you dumb fuck. You're driving me insane. I told you what the fuck was gonna happen. I just told him what was gonna happen, guys. No one listened to me.
Toxic doesn't even begin to describe this community, which can communicate via chat between themselves and the enemy team. The game is complex with a variety of moving pieces, but anything less than perfection and you'll be met by everyone telling you to uninstall the game and to kill yourself. People don't even rage just when they are losing, they rage when they are not winning hard enough. There's a streamer I enjoy watching when mixing and bagging my delicious teas on sale now, called Rezone Games. He plays my favorite character Heimerdinger, and he's also something like a shiny legendary Pokemon in that he's not going to wish cancer upon your mother if you play bad. He's someone that wants to actually have fun, but you just don't see that nowadays. Between certain gamers demanding everything be made easier for them and developers dumbing everything down, which came first, the chicken or the egg? I played the original WoW, when you had to actually be this guy in order to receive the top tier items or top tier rank or whatever you were aiming for at the top. Things were difficult, where you had to plan things with guild members months ahead of time in order to move up to the progression of the most difficult dungeons. WoW nowadays, pay us money and we'll send you to the highest level. Just do a couple of these dumbed down dungeons to get top tier items and you'll be good to go. We removed mechanics, so just keep slapping until you win. I don't see how this can be considered fun, yet here we are. With challenging single player games making way for pay to win online multiplayer games, mobile games are on the rise and starting to engulf some of our favorite single player games. And speaking of mobile games, there is no better place to showcase exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sure all of you have been hit with a million ads for AFK Arena. What could the AFK be for, you ask yourself? Surely it's not what I'm thinking, is it? It is, dear viewer, it is. It is a game where you don't even need to play it. You let it play itself in the background. That way you can enjoy those fun dopamine producing sounds and visuals without having to do anything. AFK Arena is not a unique game in this regard. When I went to look at it in the App Store, I got sent down a rabbit hole of recommended games where they brag about how you don't have to put in any effort and how easy the game is. So I ask you again, dear viewer, Why do you play video games? Is it for the reason you think? How much of this can be blamed on us? And how much can be blamed on the industry? There's not really any answers to this, at least none that I can confidently provide. I only hope to have shown people something they've never thought of before, and maybe get some people to rethink their relationship with this otherwise fun and enjoyable hobby. And as always, buy my tea.